Hey everyone, welcome to Stories of Architecture. So let's continue our journey of covering the different type of gardens, and we will cover in this video Japanese gardens and Mughal gardens. Okay, so without any further ado, let's begin. So the fourth type of gardens are Japanese gardens. So let's have a look at their introduction. So Japanese garden represents spirituality and religion. Buddhism, Taoism and Shinto principles are used to make different garden styles in Japanese garden. The main purpose of Japanese garden is for peace and meditation, and there is an undistinguishable line between garden and natural landscape. The main design philosophy behind these Japanese garden is that the viewer should consider nature as a picture frame and the garden, which is man-made, a work of art that is a part of the frame. Now let's have a look at the design characteristics of the Japanese garden. So the first is natural, the emphasis on natural. The garden should look as if it grew by itself. Asymmetry, impression of being natural. Odd numbers, it supports the effect of asymmetry. So there might be odd number of maybe sculptures or different things, patterns in the Japanese garden helps in showing that asymmetry or maintaining that natural feel to it. Then simplicity. We all know the famous words, less is more. Then contrast, the tension between elements. So maybe tension between water and rock, or maybe rock and sky, or the building or sky. So there's a tension between them. Then lines, which show, again emphasizes tranquility and can also show tension. The curves for softness, openness, so interaction between all elements, so it's very open. The Japanese gardens can be open also. Then miniaturization, miniature idealized view of nature. So we are all familiar with the ancient Japanese technique of bonsai. We can clearly say that Japanese gardens follow miniaturization design characteristics. Then borrowed scenery, which is shakeki. Shakeki is a smaller garden designed to capture view outside the garden. It makes garden seem larger than it is. Now moving on to the design elements. So there are 8 main design elements. The first one being water, which is for visual and also sound. We can see the element of water in the asymmetrical pond which is present, the streams, the waterfall, and if there is a dry garden, then the white sand is used to create the feeling of water. Then the second is rock or sand. So the rocks provide coordinates of gardens, so it is used as a spatial element. It is also used for its size, color and texture, much like the Chinese gardens. Then the third element is bridges. There are different type of bridges in Japanese garden, and each one of them have their different names. The ones which are made from stone are called ishibashi. The ones made from wood and moss are called dobashi. The arched ones are called soribashi, and the flat ones are called hirabashi. Again, the moon bridge is also present in Japanese gardens, but it started with Chinese gardens. So maybe if a question comes between Chinese gardens and Japanese gardens, which one has the moon bridge or which one first had moon bridge, it would be Chinese gardens. But if there is no other option like Chinese, go for the connection between moon garden and Japanese garden. Okay. Then fourth one is stone lanterns. The stone lanterns represent 5 elements of Buddhist cosmology: earth, fire, wind, water and spirit. The fifth element is water basin or sukubashi. The sukubashi is used for visitor to wash hands. It has a bamboo pipe and it makes a special sound when it is filled. So it is used to chase away deers in the Japanese gardens. You might have seen this in Japanese anime or games or movies, so it's a pretty common thing. Then the sixth element is fences and gates. There are short fences, there are inner fences, outer fences. They are usually made from bamboo, wood or twigs of trees, and to showcase more naturalistic aspects of the Japanese gardens. Then the seventh element is trees and flowers. The plants are carefully chosen according to their aesthetics. The trees are carefully chosen according to their autumn colors. The flowers are carefully chosen according to their flowering season. And the moss, if present, suggests that the garden is ancient to show that it is old. Then the eighth and final element is of fish. The species that is used of fish is carp. These different species of carp brings flash of color to the shallow waters present, and it is a symbol of strength and perseverance because the carp lives for many long years, 50 years sometimes, and I think even Japanese people in general have a longer lifespan compared to the rest of the world. Now moving on to the fourth category. So types and examples of Japanese gardens. There are 7 different types of Japanese gardens. The first is pond garden, paradise garden, hermitage garden, zen garden, tea garden, promenade or stroll garden, and the 7th is courtyard garden. So each one has a different purpose. One can go into the many details of each garden, but we will only cover the names of these gardens in this video. You can have a further look at the different categories or different aspects of each garden at your own time. Then the few examples of these Japanese gardens are Ginkaku-ji or Silver Pavilion in Kyoto, Katsura Ryuk in Katsura Imperial Villa in Kyoto, Tenryuji or Temple of Heavenly Dragon. What a cool name, and that is also in Kyoto. So seems like Kyoto has a lot of different gardens, and I think it would also be a beautiful city to live in. Then the fourth example is Okayama Karakun, which is in the Okayama Prefecture in Japan. Okay, so this much for Japanese garden. Now moving on to the next garden. Okay, so the fifth and final garden type of gardens are Mughal gardens. I hope most of you would know about Mughal gardens and the Mughal architecture, so you by default would know about Mughal gardens, but still let's have a look at their introduction. So Mughal gardens are a place for rest and reflection. There is an idea of paradise in these gardens. And they are inspired from Persian gardens. So essentially they were majorly used for the rulers who got deceased, so it was their resting place. Now moving on to the design characteristics. So there is a geometrical pattern in the Mughal gardens, so very similar to French gardens. Then the Charbagh concept. So what is Charbagh? The whole garden is divided into 4 quadrants, and it is divided by waterways and pathways. The number 8 and 9 is considered auspicious. Therefore, it has a significance in the architecture of Mughal architecture and also in the landscape. There is a symmetrical layout, and the tomb is in the center of the Mughal gardens. But there is an exception in the Taj Mahal where it is at the end. Now let's look at the third category of design elements. There are 5 main elements for Mughal gardens. The first is running water, which is channels and cascades. The second is pools and fountains. So they have fountains in this type of gardens. The third is flowers. There are many species of sweet smelling flowers used in these gardens. Then the fourth point is less trees, and if there are trees then they are mostly palm trees. The fifth point is paved walkways or Kiyabans. So remember this name, Kiyabans is paved walkways in Mughal gardens. Now let's have a look at the final category, the types and examples. So we all know about the Mughal gardens. The Humayun's Tomb Garden is in Delhi, the Taj Mahal is in Agra, Ram Bagh is in Agra, Shalimar Garden or Shalimar Bagh is in Srinagar. Also there is a Mughal garden in the Rashtrapati Bhavan, but I don't think we can call it really the proper Mughal garden as it was made by the Britishers. But anyway, so you can have a look at more examples if you want to, but so these are some of the examples that I came up with. Okay. Hey everyone, I hope you found this video about the different type of gardens useful. If you found it useful, then please leave a like, comment down below if you have any questions or would like to share something. Then share this video with everyone you know and ask them to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get notification whenever I upload a new video. More videos related to gate architecture are coming up. I'll complete section 5 for sure, and I will also have a look at the new exam patterns about gate architecture 2021 that have come up. I'll make a video about it soon, so stay tuned. ठीक है? Okay then, मिलते हैं फिर.